Welcome to Screw the Commute, the entrepreneurial podcast dedicated to getting you out of the car and into the money. With your host, lifelong entrepreneur and multimillionaire, Tom Antion.
Hey everybody, it's Tom here with episode 1045 of Screw the Commute podcast. Today we're going to talk about subtitles. And no, I'm not talking about subtitles on your articles or your blog postings or your book chapters. And you're going to be surprised when you hear some of the things happen with subtitles on video. That's what we're talking about today. And sometimes it's called closed captioning. I'm not sure if that's a direct synonym for it, but anyway, it's the text that appears on the screen that goes over the dialogue that's happening on the screen. So here I was half asleep the other day. It was 5:30 in the morning. All right. And, well, maybe it was 6:30. I don't know. I can't remember. It was so early. I was taking my neighbor to Centera Hospital for his colonoscopy. And I'm sitting there half asleep. I got my hand, you can't lay down there, of course, in the waiting room. I'm like half asleep. But they had a TV playing and the Today Show was on. And they did an entire segment. It must have been 5, 6, 7 minutes on subtitles on videos and television and what it means and who watches them, who doesn't, who uses them, and so forth. So I thought that's a pretty important topic for you if you're making videos to make sure that you allow captioning and all that stuff. All right. But I'm going to tell you why in this episode. And there's multiple studies on this. All right. If you just Google usage of subtitles in video studies or put it in ChatGPT, you'll get 4, 5, 6 studies exactly on this topic. They go way more depth than I'll go in here, but I just want, all you need to know is you need to have it available. And in some cases, it's way more important than others. All right. So anyway, they said that most older people, and that would be 60 and above, they report that they almost never use subtitles or closed captioning. Now, this would be a little bit different if they were hard of hearing or something. If they totally honed in and surveyed people that are hard of hearing, then that would be different. But overall, older people just don't use them. They're just watching the video or the TV show. The Associated Press NORC poll, they surveyed people 45 and under, and they figured out that 4 out of 10 people, 45 or under, used subtitles and closed captioning. And on other studies, younger people are even way higher than 4 out of 10 that use them. Well, let's explore why. Why do you think people do this? Well, there's various reasons. One I just mentioned is hearing problems. Other would be accents. Others would be language differences. And many of them are because of the environment. Like if you were at work and you're supposed to be working, you can't have the volume on, all right, and you're watching a movie. It could be if you don't have any headphones on an airplane or something like that, you can still follow along with what's going on. Now, the younger generation, much younger, they do it because they multitask. I mean, my video producer a long time ago, the guy came from Hollywood. You probably maybe heard this story where he was retired from Hollywood, and I kept blowing him off because I thought his reel, his demo reel was bullshit because it had all these celebrities on it. So I kept blowing him off. But eventually we hooked up, and he worked for me for several years, and he brought his daughter, his 16-year-old daughter, over to meet me because she wanted to be an entrepreneur and all that. And she's sitting here making perfect eye contact with me, talking to me, telling me what she wants to do, and just beautiful young girl. But at the same time, I was blown away by this. I didn't say anything at the time, but it just blows my mind. she's got her hand like down at her waist or off to the side, not in anywhere where it's obvious that, and she's texting her friend without looking at the phone. Right. So these kids, grew up where they came out of the womb swiping, screens. They can just do stuff that us old farts will never be able to do or even understand. So the young people are using it for multitasking. Again, in environments where they're not supposed to be doing it, they're doing it anyway with closed captioning. And the only good thing about that to me is at least they can read. So many kids are coming out, the reading scores are terrible, so at least they can read. Now, another study, this is what you have to think of as if you're putting videos out. Another study showed that 80% of the people that they surveyed are more likely to finish watching a video if it has subtitles. Wow. How important is that for us? And it means I got to go back and look at several thousand videos that I have out there. But how important is that? Because for your videos to be seen by more people, watch time and percentage of watch time is really critical so that the algorithm shows your videos to more people. If you have subtitles on and people make it all the way to the end, that's like 90 or 100% watch time. And that makes your video look like it's really great, say, just because it had subtitles. At least 80% of the people said that. So you got to make sure your subtitles are always available, especially if you're doing videos directly on your website rather than just on YouTube and so forth. And pay attention to this, especially if you have a younger or a mid-range and lower audience. They're doing it. They're that 4 out of 10. I'm not sure what year that was taken, but it's probably more now. So if you want people to watch more of your videos, make sure the subtitles are available. And sometimes you can edit them yourself to make sure they're clear, and you can set the font size and make sure they're easy to read. There's all kinds of studies about this on the readability and how long you leave them on the screen. And if people miss them, will they go back, stop the video and go back and look at them to catch what they missed? So a lot of stuff going on here that those studies go into. So like I said, just Google or ChatGPT. What did I do? I used a prompt. Recent studies on video subtitles. And it came up with 4, 5, 6 of them and gave me all the details in the synopsis. And then you can click over to read it in depth if you want to. All right. So that's my story and I'm sticking to it. Hey, make sure you pick up a copy of my automation ebook at screwthecommute.com/automate free. Get version 3.0. And of course, check out my school at imtcva.org. Save yourself a couple $100,000 and get usable skills that you or your loved ones don't have to go to a 4-year college and get indoctrinated while you're there. And it's certified to operate by SCHEV, the State Council on Higher Education in Virginia, but it's distance learning, so you don't have to be in Virginia. And of course, my mentor program, the longest running, most successful, most unique ever in the field of internet and digital marketing. One-on-one with you, with me, and my entire staff. Okay, that's my story and I'm sticking to it. We'll catch you all in the next episode. Have a great weekend.